Words on Bathroom Walls, a new film that takes a look at mental health and a teenager who's struggling. Should you check this out once it's available? A high school senior struggling with schizophrenia is hopeful that a new experimental treatment will help him navigate high school and his relationships. Charlie Plummer stars as Adam, the one who is suffering from schizophrenia, and he does a really good job, especially because he's connecting with us as an audience. We take the place of his psychiatrist, where he then speaks to the camera, who is us, and we're just listening to his innermost thoughts, his fears, everything that he's struggling with, unfettered and unfiltered. We get to hear his thoughts on how he deals with his diagnosis and the medications he's taking, and these one-sided conversations are a great way to narrate everything that's going on. I mean, it really makes us engaged, and it also kind of makes us co-conspirators, because we are privy to things that nobody else gets to hear, nobody else gets to know. I really like how the filmmakers make schizophrenia come to life. There's this deep, dark, metallic-y sounding voice that comes from the shadows. It almost sounds like when Donnie is talking to Frank in Donnie Darko. That type of voice where it's otherworldly and yet still has a human quality to it. There's also this ominous smoke that just permeates through everything, and it calls out to Adam. And really what that does is it vocalizes all of the darkness that Adam is feeling within him. Adam also has 3 additional manifestations that he sees and hears. They each have a unique personality and flair, and it makes them a lot of fun. Anna Sophia Robb is a hippie-like, positive and uplifting presence who's just all smiles and rainbows, and she really gets to speak the positivity towards Adam. Devin Bostick is like Roderick all grown up, just crass and free-spirited without being too vulgar. He gets to voice the thoughts that most teenage boys have without straying too far away from family friendliness. Then there's Loco Sebastian, who is the bodyguard. I mean, he is this buff guy who wields a bat, and he is Adam's protector. All 3 really bring a good dimension to Adam and what he's experiencing. They also give a really good voice to his struggle. Taylor Russell plays Maya, Adam's friend at school. And despite her actor being in her mid-20s, at points she looks like she's 15, which is kind of odd because she's portraying a high school senior. But I did really like her character. I mean, sometimes she's smug, but most times she's sweet. And she's able to convey a real concern with her eyes, which makes her a very believable friend for Adam. As we're introduced to Adam and his schizophrenia, there's a montage that really tells us all of the different medications that he's been trying. What they do to him, how they make him feel, some of the side effects, whether or not they work, and then they land on the experimental one. And for a moment there, I really thought that this was going to be some jacked up way to do an infomercial because they showed the title of this drug a lot. But I don't think that the drug actually exists. The story has some good humor in it, thanks mainly to Adam and his thoughts. But some good dry wit comes from Andy Garcia, who is playing a priest at the high school that Adam goes to. He gets to give out some nuggets of wisdom, but he also gets a chuckle out of us as well, because just his looks, his mannerisms, just some facial expressions, and even body language, just of him dealing with teenagers is funny. As the story progresses and we watch the drama unfolding, we're pretty sure where this ride is going to take us. And I really like how the cinematography puts us into Adam's head. They use different angles to put us off balance, and they like shift it so that we're just looking at things just a little off, and it makes us ill at ease and even stressed. The story has the potential to get really heavy and depressing, and it does hedge that way. It takes a dark path, but ultimately it resolves itself in a touching way. I think the end of the film is wrapped up a little too nicely, or maybe just a little too quickly. I like that it doesn't leave us in the bell jar, and we do get to see some personal growth from characters, but the resolution ends up feeling a little rushed. We spend most of the hour and 51-minute story going on this journey with a character who can't trust his own brain. He doesn't know what he can trust or listen to, or even if the things in front of his eyes are real. I think the resolution deserves a little more time to give all that came before in the story some more justice. Ultimately, this is a good watch, and I think they confront the topic of mental health and schizophrenia in particular with dignity and respect. It gives us as an audience a good look at what it could be like to deal with this. There's no sex or nudity, some profanity, and a little bit of violence. I give Words on Bathroom Walls 4 out of 5 couches. Are there any other movies that deal with mental illness in a respectful way? Let me know what one is in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.